Nick not getting evaluated until next week, or is there anything new there? Or?
Nothing new. I mean, we'll just evaluate him next week. I don't expect him to play at Baylor. And then just meet with Vic on Monday morning, kind of see where we're at. I think initially we really talked 1 to 2 weeks, of just rest and sitting out and kind of getting away from it and just really just focusing on treatment. And so that's how I'm planning for it right now.
At what point do you kind of get an inkling about which Iowa State team's going to show up? Or is there a point?
I don't think there's – I think it's just an every minute, every possession deal. The one team, the A team is good. The A team can be pretty good, especially when the guards are playing well and making shots. Thought last night defensively we just competed. Thought our effort was really good. Shared the ball, 20 assists on 36 baskets, was terrific. So that's the thing. The inconsistency, is what drives you crazy, and that's what we got to continue to fight and try to shorten that gap of the inconsistent moments. But that's in every area. Everything carries over. Spiritually, socially, academically, athletically. Those are the 4 biggest pillars and areas that we like to talk about. And so you got to be consistent in every area.
What did you learn from last game against Baylor this past year?
I'm watching it right now. Baylor's Baylor from the standpoint of, they're going to run what they run. This is their, half-court action. LeCont's very good. They've got great size and length all the time. Up front, 3, 4, and 5. You got to do a great job handling their zone and making good decisions. And then you got to rebound the ball. And so, Baylor played really well at Oklahoma the other night. I just saw the last minute when I turned the TV on. And so, they played well at Kansas, up 6 with a minute to go. Again, I don't even, what are they, 2-7 in the league? Just like everybody in our league, we could all make a case to be 5-4, 8-1. It's possession game for the most part, and you got to be able to finish. And so, we've got to go there and play well. It's a great opportunity for us to see if we can grow up on the road a little bit.
Donovan and Lindell played very well together last night. Why?
I don't know. I don't have an exact answer for that. It's just, you go look at some of the games where they didn't. Sometimes it's makes and misses. Donovan, watching a Baylor game, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I know he didn't shoot it great that night. But there's some looks that, we want Donovan shooting, and then you go to, Texas here. There's some shots. Lindell, I don't know what he went against Texas here. It wasn't very good. But you want them shooting those shots. When those guys are playing well and our guards are playing well, we can do a lot of really good things. The toughest thing for us is when we're not making shots, can those guys respond and continue to fight through it and continue to get stops so we can play off our defense.
Is that still the work in progress aspect? Because that's what happened in Tennessee. Shots weren't falling, whereas Texas Tech shots were falling, so you blow them out, and then you blow out West Virginia because shots were falling to get that consistency.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. You look at the Tennessee game, and everybody's really kind of ripped that game apart. But, man, with 8 minutes to go in the first half, we're winning, and we're not playing great offensively from a standpoint of missed free throws, missed layup, open threes by guys you want shooting them. And even Hans, he had a 15-footer and a 3 wide open to where that's what we want Hans shooting if he's in the game. He has great skill, and he's made those throughout his career. But what happened is we couldn't score, and then it was a flurry of threes to where the separation got 10 or 12, and then we broke. And weren't able to get into it. And we had a couple guys didn't respond to, some situations that they had to handle differently. And I think hopefully that helps them mature.
Yesterday you said that the rebounding was kind of a key thing for you guys. What did you do you see that kind of incorporating into Baylor and needed?
Well, yeah, it's huge because, Aku, all those guys, Lee, I looked at the roster again, 25, Clark. Is it Clark? Those guys are big and physical and long. And then Maston, we've got to do a great job on the glass. We had some great possessions last night where it's slamming into guys on box outs, and there's possessions where we're not boxing out. And so we're just doing individual workouts today. but the first 10 minutes of individual workout for the post guys will be, you know, dummy box outs, ball screen defense, post defense, just to get them the mentality of, here's how we need to play. You know, I need to just defend and compete the way that I feel the most comfortable with, and you know that means we need to pressure, we need to deny passing lanes, and then we need to be physical in the post.
You mentioned last night, you talked about it before, not living in peaks and valleys. Is that a bit of a chicken and the egg scenario when you've got games like Saturday followed by games like Wednesday and the varsity, junior varsity? You know what you talking about?
Yeah.
How do you manage that or try to get to some sort of equilibrium?
Yeah, you can't judge yourself. I mean, you judge by wins and losses, but we can't let wins and losses or makes and misses define who we are. You know, we just have to know. It's kind of like what Coach Huggins was saying last night. You know, he's frustrated about, you know, effort and competing, and that's all you want. And then you got to live with the results from that if you do all the other things right. And that's the thing is, you are just harping on with these guys. And hopefully they can learn that, because we've had great moments and then we've had bad moments. I mean, there's a couple games that we let slip away. You know, we can all sit here and talk about those 2 or 3 games, but the games we lost. Where we just didn't respond, that's what we got to get away from. And sometimes you can hit a team and, man, they just darn good that night, and they were just better than you. But let that be the case before we just wither.
What factors led to Cam and Solo playing their best game together?
You know,
combined?
I think games where you got to have physicality and toughness, I think you've seen those guys step up and play well. And I think, you know, Cameron knew he didn't play great Saturday. He didn't respond to the situations we had put him in, and he knew he needed to respond. And I thought the last couple of days he was in the gym getting individual workouts before practice, which was great. You know, that's a step in the right direction there with him because he needs it. And then Solomon, I think he understands being here at least for a year, to where, hey, he knows right from wrong. He knows good, bad days, and he knows what's acceptable and what's unacceptable. And, you know, he finished. He played really, really hard. He ran the floor. He rebounded. He had some really good box outs. And a lot of stuff he does as well doesn't really show up in the stat sheet, but double-double, 10 rebounds was really good for him.
You, I know, made a concerted effort to give Donovan more tools to be a leader in the offseason, and how has he navigated that? Because it seems like he sort of took a big step in that responsibility.
Yeah, I thought last night, they all did, and especially him, because, you know, he's a senior and he's one of the 3 returning guys that played, and probably played him and Solomon, you know, right around probably the same amount of minutes. But I thought the last week he's really tried to take some steps, especially really after the Tennessee game, and you know, he talked to the guys. He's been coachable. You know, he played at the point. He played off the ball. He made great decisions last night. I think the one thing, you can talk about a lot of different things last night, I just thought our patience and our poise against the press when we broke pressure was good. A lot of times you just keep going and going and going. Quick shot or turnover. You know, we backed it out. We ran offense, and both those guys, him and Lindell, made good decisions. But Donovan was already in here. He already shot this morning. He's got great work ethic. He's a resilient kid, and so happy for him. And now, like I said, we just need to focus on these last 10 games and see what we can do. But it's one game at a time. It's a day at a time, and they need to come in with great focus today with their individuals.
Thanks, Steve.